Hi, everybody. So today it is snowing in my area. The high is 21 degrees. So we're going to finish off with this. And the next row, we're going to go to the light green. We're going to do one double crochet in this first space, and then 3 double crochets in every other space all the way to the end, and end with 2 double crochets in the last space and chain 3. All right. I hope you enjoy the video. So this story is from r/slash dating advice. It's titled Girl Playing Games. I, 25 male, met this 22-year-old female in early December over a dating app. She lives 2 hours from me. We talked for a week. It was great. I jokingly but seriously said I'd go pick her up one day. And she agreed and told me to come get her. I drove down there and she spent the weekend with me. We just smoked pot and stayed in the whole time, watching movies, talking, and being intimate. Vibe was dope. First days after I drop her off, things are normal. But she slowly starts being distant and giving fake excuses for it. I eventually asked her what was up. And she told me she felt we were moving too fast and that she wasn't sure she was ready for anything serious yet. She had just gotten out of a relationship of 6 months with a guy who beat her only a week before talking to me. She had bruises all over her body and a black eye when we hung out. A little more context. He has no job, is an alcoholic, has a ton of friends, is a party girl, and lives with toxic family, which was fine with me. I'm a pretty good place financially and mentally. I liked her a lot, so it felt it was worth it. Anyway, I respected that and told her I'd leave her alone. This seemed to upset her. She said something about not wanting to throw me to the side, just that she needed distance. A week later, her gift arrived that I had gotten her for Christmas. She actually forgot about it, even though it was discussed several times. It was a $150 gift. I messaged her to remind her. She was happy, thanked me profusely, and started talking to me again. I scaled back on the flirting and suave talk though. I didn't want her to talk to me just because I got her a gift. She wanted to hang again and asked if I was free that weekend, to which I said yes. The day we were supposed to hang, she pushed plans to later in the day because she had an interview. Where did that come from? She didn't tell me this in the night before when I followed up. I made my way there at the time she told me to and told her I was on the way. She told me to wait because something happened to her grandpa at the hospital. I pulled over and she never followed up with me until I brought it up days later, even though she was active on Snap the whole time. The next day she posts herself with a guy. She was at a party or something. It must have been a friend though, because she never posted anything like that or the same guy again. But as a guy, we all know what I thought. I didn't say anything. Eventually, I did call her out. She apologized, but it was so obviously fake and sugar-coated. We didn't talk for about a week, and I figured it was over. So I moved on and started talking to someone locally, 26-year-old female. She is originally from the same city as the 22-year-old female, small world. We started hanging, and I posted her on my story a couple of times. A few days passed, and suddenly 22-year-old females were replying to almost all of my posts, trying to talk. She wouldn't do this before I posted a new girl. I kept leaving her unread and replying short. Anytime I showed any interest, she would scale back though. One day I posted about not having plans, and she replied, "Bring your girl, let's turn up, or I can come down there. I need more girlfriends." I told her that wasn't my girl, that she was busy that weekend, hence why I had no plans, but I'd still be up for hanging out. I told her to let me know. She never did. She would still just reply to my story posts. Weird. One day, we even reached a point where she was asking me about this new girl, and I asked if maybe they know each other, and she asked me to send her a picture. As we talked more about it, she starts subtly dissing this new girl, at one point by calling her lame. She kept up this weird replying to my posting for a few days. Wednesday, she messaged me, but I'm a bit fed up, so I replied vaguely and got no response. Later, she sent me a voice message only after seeing my stories, and she was ridiculously drunk. I was embarrassed for her. She told me she was going to sleep and that she'd talk to me tomorrow, but I didn't reply with anything. This was when I knew her alcoholism was worse than I thought. She hasn't said a word since, despite being active on Snap. I get it. She's young, recent toxic relationship, not in the best place mentally. I'm not being desperate or needy, just looking for insight. How should I approach this? I genuinely thought and felt she was interested in something serious with me. Not just because I thought so, but because she would tell me so herself. I've been treated much worse, so forgive me if I sound clueless. Here are some of the responses. I stopped reading, bro. Move on. This ain't it. I don't care how hot she is. It ain't it. The next one. Dude, you need to step back. Reread what you just posted and reality check yourself. Is this really someone you want to spend time getting to know? She was upfront and told you she has baggage. And I don't mean just a carry-on. We're talking her whole wardrobe. Be careful getting into a relationship with someone who is acting this sketchy. She reels you in and then distances herself. Then reels you in, then distances herself. You say that you don't want her to talk to you just because of the gifts, but she already is. She knows that you're going to be there, waiting. I say cut ties and move on because you're already in the perpetual loop of disrespect and no communication on her part. Like I said, reread what you posted, but this time pretend that a close friend is asking you for advice and told you all of this. What would you tell them? What would you guys say? The next story is in the subreddit Malicious Compliance. The title is Doctor at the GP Practice is Maliciously Compliant on My Behalf. This took place back in 2019 when I was living and working in Lille in the north of France. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but while I usually have no problems with my health and only need a day off every year or so for health, I had a less fortunate 2019. On 3 different occasions, I needed 1 or 2 days to recover from minor illnesses. Stomach bugs, bad colds, or the ever popular in France, gastroenteritis. I suppose that's kind of just a stomach bug, but anyone who has lived in France as well as any other country would know it as a particularly French illness. Probably all that unpasteurized milk. Cheese. Anyway, unusually for this story, my 3 bosses are actually pretty cool folks. The owner was chill, but a little distant. The center manager was awesome, but not really my boss, more my manager's boss. We had a great relationship though. Then there's my manager who is basically my mate, but she told me when my shifts were. I'm still in contact with 2 of them years after leaving the country. When we get sick, they don't usually require a doctor's note unless the illness prevents working for more than 2 days. However, because I was off a couple of times already this year, the highest up boss, owner, decided I needed to bring in a sick note. As a teacher, it wasn't impossible to get my shifts covered, but it was a nuisance for my manager. I told them I only needed 1 day as I had a day off right after. Getting a doctor's note was a massive pain in the behind. I had to walk 15 minutes when I already felt like crap, wait in a tiny room for 90 minutes, and then explain my problems in my semi-fluent French. Here's the conversation. Doctor, it's just a virus. You'll be fine in a day or 2. You just need to rest and drink lots of water. You didn't need to come here for this. My job asks for a doctor's note. Are you able to write one? The doctor's face has changed expression to one of annoyance, but not directed at me. Doctor, when do you have to go back to work? Me. Saturday. It was Thursday. Saturdays are surprisingly nice days to work as they're always chill and the gym next door to work is empty after I finish. Doctor. Do you get paid sick days at your work? Do you have the flu? What? I just said I have a virus. Flu is a virus. You can't work for a week. You'll need a few days to recover once you're better. Me. I don't need... Doctor. Here's your note. You're signed off until Monday. The Monday after next. 10 days. Me. I'm not sure how to translate the next thing the doctor said. It was Vasi, which literally translates to go ahead. What he was more ushering me to F off, and usually very familiar language, which means he was talking to me like a child as if we weren't friends. I called my manager and immediately explained the situation, said just I could just not hand in the doctor's note, and she actually laughed and said, "No, this is the perfect way to show owner that we don't and haven't ever needed sick notes. Have a nice week off." I felt so bad. Then I started playing video games, and that bad feeling just ebbed away. Too long didn't read. My doctor flips out for wasting his time to get a sick note and punishes my company by signing me off for a week more than I needed. Oh, here's the comments. Much the same to me happened in Japan. I fell down the stairs and broke my nose, but I could have gone back to work after the weekend. However, when the doctor who checked me out found out how much I hated my job, he booked me off for 2 weeks. Another comment is the doctor knows how to cultivate loyalty. The next comment, my doctor did something very similar to my employer once upon a time. I had a routine doctor's visit. I told her I was quite stressed. My dad was being evaluated for a heart transplant, and my boss was telling me I could only have the days off of his appointments in the next city over if I found someone to cover my shifts. She said my lungs sounded bad and wrote me a note that I needed 2 weeks off. I'm forever grateful. I'm glad your manager was cool about it. What do you guys think about this story? I hope you enjoy this and enjoy the rest of the video and enjoy the rest of your day.